Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we're going to talk to a leading national expert about how art can change the look and feel of a space. That's just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team. And the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I would not say I'm an art connoisseur, but I appreciate it when I see it. In fact, one of the things that I love about AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where the Cowboys play, is all the art. If you really stop and walk the stadium, you are seeing some exquisite art pieces, and it changes the look and feel of the space. To talk about that today, Sara Beth Joyner. She is with Quality Art House, and Lyle Rountree. He is with U.S. Oil Surgery Management. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
So let's start with you, Sara, because you've been doing this for 20 years, but I'm going to call you an accidental entrepreneur because you kind of stumbled into it. You were actually selling office supplies or something like that?
Well, yes, I was working for a copier company back in the days, but I'm a 3-generation entrepreneurial family. And so selling is in my blood. It's always wanted to be a salesperson. Not quite sure if I really wanted to be an entrepreneur, but just kind of fell into it.
Okay, so how did that evolve into artwork?
Back in the early 2000s, the machines that we were printing on actually could do printing of artwork. So you're going from analog to digital. And so it was really just starting who owns the rights to the reproductions of things. And we knew that if we could get in front of those right people, we would be able to do the reproductions of their artwork.
Wow. And Lyle is not just a friend, he's a client. So you recently worked on a project together?
Yes. Sara Beth and I got together on creating a plan for artwork for our new office space in Irving, Texas. And she did a great job. And we had a blank canvas, a blank space. We needed lots of things to put up to kind of create the right atmosphere and the right brand. Lots of new people moving into the space, and we couldn't have done it without Sara Beth's help and guidance around just kind of how artwork works within a space and for what we're trying to do.
And we actually have some pictures that we just got off your phone of this project. And Sara Beth, I want you to kind of talk about what we're looking at.
So this is their boardroom. So we have a nice large piece right here to just kind of anchors the boardroom. The opposite is where they would do their Zoom call. This goes into their break space of the executive suite area. And then I think there's one more in the executive suite area just to kind of tie it all down together. And
when you work with a client like Lyle and his company, do they have a preconceived notion of what they want, or are they describing a feeling?
Some of us like a feeling altogether. So we look at 3 different variables when we're working with clients because every project is custom done. But so we're looking at your wall space, talking to them about their budget because artwork can be very expensive, but it all just depends on the client's budgets and, the style, who's coming in there. What is the message that you want to give to them? Is it the message to your employees? Is the message to the residents? Is it to patients coming in? What's the message that you want to share with them?
Sure. And these days that's so important because the millennials, the Gen Zs, they won't go to work for a place that looks like their grandpa's cube farm, mm-hmm. right?
Yeah.
I mean, a statement piece in the lobby makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So Lyle, let's talk about the feeling that your employees are getting from this new artwork.
Well, you're exactly right in the sense that it's also a matter of respect for your employees and for your staff. I mean, I think that if you respect the work that they're doing and the contributions that they're bringing into your organization, you should respect them enough to create a wonderful space that they can do their work in. And like you said, millennials And all of us are more in tune to social media and what's going on out there. We've got a wider array of choices around art and the things that kind of motivate us and the things that we like. And we're a relatively new company, so we want to portray ourselves as modern, and we want to portray ourselves as being fresh and new and innovative. And with the choice of artwork that Sara Beth was able to bring to us into our new space, it definitely ticked all the boxes. And we've gotten nothing but amazing feedback from everyone from our board members to our staff members that are coming in every day in the cubicles. But, for them to get out of their desks and be able to be surrounded by a really beautiful artwork in a really great space, that means a lot. And it contributes to the overall happiness of our staff members and just their wanting to come to work every day. So it's definitely mission accomplished. So we've been very pleased with everything that we've done with Sara Beth and her team.
And Sara Beth, one of your specialties is medical facilities. We've got a big project that you did recently, and describe this for us.
So that's Salmon's Cancer Center that was done right at the, almost like I would say 10 years ago, a little over.
Was this 10 years ago?
2011.
No kidding.
It was one of our first large projects that we did. And at the time we were a 2.5 person show. So what was neat about this project is, and why we were awarded this project, is we looked at it from evidence-based design, and our firm is EDAC certified. We're a healthcare art consulting, and then we have Quality Art House. But going back to why we were awarded this particular project was we ended up doing a focus group with the patients and with the doctors and the volunteers, and saying, okay, this is actually the best type of artwork to go for this environment. Here's the reason why. And when we go further back into the hospital, into the executive offices, this is the type of artwork you should use in this area, and here's the reasons why. And so it was really fun.
Well, when I think about anybody going to a hospital, they're probably sick and in pain, and so having a pleasant environment makes a difference, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. I always tell people, if you ever have to see the artwork we do, it means you're really, really sick. And so over the years, some of the things that we have done with hospitals is, if it's toward the end of someone's life, and now it's not it's so much easier now, but 10 years ago it was harder. So we inserted monitors in there so that they could look at family photos that would just rotate and be able to see their family before they pass away. Doing little small things, doing their patient information boards and doing the design of that, just creating an ambiance for them, a quiet time.
Yeah. And so not only are you doing medical facilities, but you're just doing general office spaces. Like we're here at Lincoln Center, and I love what they've done to this building. You've got a little sizzle reel. Let's go ahead and roll some of that so we can look at how many projects would you say your company's done? Thousands?
We've done projects all across the United States, even in Hawaii and Guam. I think we did about 5 projects in Hawaii this past year and 2 in Guam this past year. So it really just kind of depends on what the client's needs are. We started in our backyard here in Dallas, and we have such a great corporate area that people have trusted us to do their other projects outside of Texas.
And Lyle, talk more about what it was like to work with Sara Beth and her team. I mean, easygoing?
Oh, absolutely. Collaborative, easygoing. But at the same time, Sara Beth knows what it takes to get a project done and keeps me on task, which is great. I've got a lot of other things I'm working on too. So she's just a great partner in making sure that, she's getting us what we are looking for and what we want, and able to help guide us, in the right directions to help fulfill kind of the project, and all the different stakeholders give us enough time to look at everything. Very collaborative. And so it's perfect.
And being able to do it on deadline, because I understand that you got brought in very late. Like how late into the game were you brought in?
I had 1 week. And I literally laughed. I was like, oh, okay, well, we can do something, but it might not be something you like.
Sure.
How can we get a little bit more? I mean, I can put some things in there. And we do offer rental programs and things like that. So it was just finding out what was their need, what was the headache. I mean, oftentimes people think I majored in art. I did not. I actually majored in business. And so that's probably why he's kind of laughing. I stick to objective dates, and I put down objective dates. And if you stick to my objective dates, we'll achieve the mission at hand. So
Now, do you like clients that say, Sara Beth, you do you. I don't have any preconceived notions. I want this to be a welcoming place. You go ahead and choose. I mean, do clients do that?
some do, and I sit there and go, man, there's a lot of red flags on that. You're going to stuff yourself out in the deep end with that. So, you know, we do that, but we do set some, you know, goals and things, and, you know, have them say yes to certain things so we can go in the right direction, make sure they're pleased at the end.
But talk a little bit about colors, like in the hospital spaces, because
right, exactly.
Right in the hospital spaces, you really, I'm making this up because I'm not an expert. You don't want anything like red or alarming or right. Okay.
I mean, there's definitely psychology around color for sure. With us, we wanted to make sure that a lot of our artwork worked with our brand colors, and our brand colors are blues and whites. And so we kind of leaned in that direction, but then we also knew when it was time to kind of put some impactful colors, some things that kind of stood out in certain places. My background's also in healthcare, so there's definitely some psychology to what works and what doesn't work when you're in a healthcare setting.
Outstanding. All right, we're almost out of time, so we'll give you both final thoughts. We'll start with you, Lyle.
I mean, I think that artwork is so important to creating a space. And like I said before, creating a space for the folks that are actually inhabiting that space and doing the work. And everyone needs a wonderful place to come to every day. And I think that, you know, it's a sign of respect. I think that it motivates people. And I think that if you can really tap into what your company culture is like, what you're trying to accomplish day in and day out, you can really match up that art and kind of the style and the feel of that art with your company culture, and you know, really it adds a lot to the overall attitude and environment that's going on in your space.
Outstanding. Sara Beth, final thoughts.
You know, he mentioned about company culture and branding, and that there's a lot of that in the artwork. Is more about the visual communication services that you provide. If it's digital or if it's creating a graphic wall, it's the message. So knowing what is the message that you want to give to the people that's coming into your office space or into your hospital, and being able to create that message.
Outstanding. We're going to end with all of your websites. So Sara Beth, you have two. The first one is healthcareartconsulting.com.
Yes.
The second one is qualityarthouse.com. That's for more of your corporate work. And then finally, Lyle, yours is usosm.com.
That's right.
Thanks all for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.